Have you ever looked around your home and thought, how did I end up with so much stuff? You're not alone. In my 20-plus years helping older adults reclaim their space, I've seen the same invisible barrier appear again and again. We're not fighting clutter, we're fighting our memories. But here's what I've learned. Letting go doesn't mean losing yourself. It means choosing who you want to become next. Today, I'll walk you through 4 psychological shifts that I've refined over 2 decades. These are not tips from a trendy organizer. They're real methods rooted in empathy, reflection, and respect for your life story. They helped one of my clients, Alina, a retired nurse in her late 70s, transform her entire home in just a month, without tears or regret. Secret 1, the next chapter lens. Definition. The next chapter lens is a decision-making perspective that shifts focus from who you were to who you want to become. Instead of evaluating possessions based on past sentiment, this approach asks a forward-looking question. Does this item belong in the life I want to live next? It's not about discarding history, it's about consciously shaping your future environment. Function. This mindset removes emotional confusion from the decluttering process. Rather than battling guilt or nostalgia, seniors can make thoughtful choices based on how they want to live today. It transforms organizing into a personal act of vision setting rather than loss. Strengths. This method speeds up decision-making by providing a clear internal filter. It helps reduce hesitation, eliminates the need for just-in-case thinking, and brings emotional relief by giving permission to move forward. It also supports aging in place by aligning the home environment with present-day priorities. Real-life example. Alina, a retired nurse in her late 70s, lived in a house filled with remnants of a life she no longer lived. She had 14 baking pans, most unused for years. When asked about her future lifestyle, she described peaceful tea gatherings with neighbors, not large holiday dinners. With that clarity, she kept 2 pans and released the rest. Her kitchen changed from storage space to living space. Every object left now serves a purpose in her daily rhythm, deeper meaning. The emotional attachment to belongings often reflects fear of forgetting who we were. But this technique teaches that identity is not stored in old boxes. It is expressed through the life we choose to live today. Seniors often hold onto the physical symbols of past roles while silently longing for change. The next chapter lens validates that longing and turns it into action. Practical benefits. This approach leads to cleaner, more usable spaces with fewer tripping hazards. It reduces the time and energy spent maintaining unnecessary items. More importantly, it provides emotional clarity. Seniors report feeling lighter, more in control, and more connected to the life they are actively choosing, rather than passively preserving. Secret 2, the legacy timeline technique. Definition. The legacy timeline technique is a structured approach to letting go of sentimental items by asking 2 essential questions. What part of this legacy should be enjoyed now? And what part truly needs to be passed on? It replaces assumptions with clarity by inviting real conversations with family, instead of saving everything just in case. Function. This method helps seniors separate emotional significance from physical objects. It transforms a vague sense of duty into intentional legacy planning. Rather than being burdened by what others might want someday, it empowers seniors to decide how their personal history should be honored, shared, or released. Strengths. It reduces emotional strain and space consumption by transforming, maybe someday, storage into meaningful action today. It invites family into the process early, avoiding future confusion or disappointment. Most importantly, it allows seniors to feel respected and seen, not ignored or discarded. Real-life example. Alina had kept her mother's china, boxes of school projects, and dozens of old photo albums, assuming her children would want them. When she finally asked, she was surprised. Her sons didn't want the china. but one deeply cherished a single oil painting from her hallway, and the other asked for scanned copies of family recipes. Together, they sorted, digitized, and shared the most meaningful items. What remained was either used, gifted, or respectfully released. No guilt, no guessing, deeper meaning. This technique challenges the unspoken fear that letting go is disrespectful. In truth, what honors a legacy is not the volume of items kept, but the intention behind what is preserved and shared. Seniors often delay these decisions, thinking they are protecting their family from pain, when in fact, they are postponing peace. Practical benefits. Seniors gain emotional relief from no longer holding onto items out of obligation. Homes become lighter and more functional. Families receive what truly matters instead of inheriting confusion. And seniors regain control over how their story is remembered, not by accident, but by choice. Secret 3. The emotional anchoring system. Definition. The emotional anchoring system is a method of preserving meaningful memories by identifying emotional value and selecting symbolic objects that represent that meaning, instead of keeping everything. It helps seniors replace physical clutter with intentional emotional markers. Function. This approach addresses the real reason many seniors struggle with decluttering. It's not about the objects themselves, but the memories and identity attached to them. The system provides a respectful way to honor relationships and life chapters without being trapped by them physically. Strengths. It brings emotional healing by reframing the process of letting go as an act of remembrance rather than loss. It allows for expression without accumulation. By creating focused, visible symbols of love, loss, or pride, seniors are able to stay connected to what matters most without drowning in excess. Real-life example. Eleanor had kept her late husband's entire workshop intact for 9 years. Every tool, nail, and scrap of wood was frozen in time. She couldn't even enter the space without feeling overwhelmed. We sat together and asked, "What part of his memory are you afraid to lose?" Her answer was simple: his kindness, his hands, the way he built things with care. So we selected his favorite hammer, a photo of him working, and a handwritten note he once left her. These were placed in a small shadow box. The rest was offered to her sons and neighbors. The workshop was transformed into a bright reading corner. She didn't lose him. She found a new way to feel close. Deeper meaning. Clutter often serves as silent evidence of love, grief, or pride. But holding on to everything can obscure the very memories we want to protect. The emotional anchoring system helps seniors move from silent guilt to active storytelling. It shows that true remembrance doesn't require quantity, only clarity. Practical benefits. This method frees up entire rooms while deepening emotional connection. It reduces emotional avoidance and makes homes more functional, safer, and inviting. Seniors who use this system often report better sleep, fewer emotional triggers, and a more peaceful sense of closure. Most importantly, it restores a sense of ownership over memory, where the story is no longer buried, but brought into the light. Secret 4. The Threshold Mastery Protocol. Definition. The Threshold Mastery Protocol is a preventive strategy that helps seniors maintain a clutter-free home by managing the inflow of new items. It shifts focus from decluttering what's already inside the house to controlling what crosses the threshold in the first place. Function. This method teaches seniors to become conscious gatekeepers of their space. Instead of reacting to clutter after it builds up, it introduces reflection before anything enters the home. The goal is to build intentional habits that prevent reaccumulation, especially after a major decluttering effort. Strengths. It protects progress by establishing clear filters and boundaries for new possessions. It creates pause, awareness, and alignment between personal values and material choices. This method is especially useful for older adults who tend to receive hand-me-downs, overshop, or collect, just in case, items out of past habits. Real-life example. After Alina had decluttered her home, she was proud, but worried. "I've done this before," she said, "and the clutter always comes back." So we worked together to create a system. She identified her two biggest triggers: accepting unwanted items from well-meaning friends and buying things for a lifestyle she no longer lived. We created 3 personal threshold questions that she posted by her entryway. 1, am I accepting this out of guilt or genuine need? 2, does this reflect the life I live today, not the one I used to have? 3, if I bring this in, what am I sacrificing in space or peace? She also started using a 48-hour waiting shelf. Anything she was considering, new clothes, gifts, even grocery extras, sat there for 2 days. Often, she realized she didn't really need them. 1 year later, her home was still clear, and her buying habits had completely changed. "I used to collect comfort," she told me. "Now I protect clarity." Deeper meaning. Many seniors struggle not because they lack motivation, but because they lack a filter. Without a system, things sneak back in through the same emotional doors that let them in before: loneliness, guilt, fear of waste. The Threshold Mastery Protocol empowers older adults to say yes with purpose and no without shame. It shifts the focus from reacting to reclaiming control. Practical benefits. Homes stay clean without constant rework. Seniors feel in control rather than overwhelmed. Financial waste is reduced. Emotional triggers tied to overconsumption fade. Most importantly, it builds the muscle of self-respect, because every item kept or declined becomes a reflection of intentional living. What Alina discovered, and what I hope you'll embrace, is that decluttering isn't about erasing your story. It's about choosing which chapters deserve to be displayed and which ones can be gently closed. You don't lose your past when you let go. You honor it by deciding what truly represents your journey. And you free yourself to live with more clarity, more intention, and more room for joy. Let's take a moment to remember the 4 transformative shifts we explored today. 1, the next chapter lens. Ask not what this item meant before, but whether it belongs in your future. 2, the legacy timeline technique. Replace guessing with conversation. Share what matters now. 3, the emotional anchoring system. Keep the meaning, not the mess. Choose memory over quantity. 4, the Threshold Mastery Protocol. Protect your space by being thoughtful about what comes in next. Each of these methods gives you back something more valuable than space. It gives you freedom, emotional freedom, mental clarity, and the power to say, "This is who I am now, and this home reflects that." Thank you so much for spending your time here with me today. If this message resonated with you, please consider subscribing to the Senior Nest, where we believe that every senior deserves a home that supports peace, purpose, and independence. And don't forget to check out the next video in this series, where we'll dive into more powerful strategies to help you create a home that truly serves you, not the clutter. Until next time, take care of your space, and it will take care of you.